It is a good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan Ikboy, and as usual, I'm not here alone. I have the newly married man still with me in studio this morning, Ibrahim Shita. I told you guys.
I'm wondering how long you're going to have to be saying this for.
Get used to it.
Allow me to rock it a bit. At least, let people
I'm
just
trying
feel.
to help you rock it.
No, not rocking that. Rocking the previous experiences. Just moving as a.
No, sir. You have changed the direction. You are now on a new path.
You didn't want to uproot me totally out of the street.
I am uprooting you out of the street. But it's good to see you this morning. Right, we have an array of issues we'll be looking at, talking about today being World Mental Health Day. We need to look at that. We're also looking at INEC's concern with regards to the elections coming up in November, talking about the security issues leading up to the election and perhaps the attendant impact. And then we are also going to talk about climate change and its impact on our food sufficiency, food security as it is. And then we're also looking at Liberia election that will be happening later today. And so that is where we will begin. Today, citizens of Liberia will go out in numbers to vote for the seat of the President, House of Representatives, and half of the Senate. Judge Weah, who is the current president, is seeking a second term and is also up against 19 other candidates vying for the same post. One of his major opponents is former Deputy President or Vice President Joseph Boakai. This will be the country's fourth post-war presidential election with about 2.4 million people registered to vote, with polls opening at 8 a.m. Former President Goodluck Jonathan is also expected to lead a delegation to observe the election, and that delegation has left the country already to Liberia to monitor what is going on with regards to the elections. And there are concerns, Ibrahim, about this election, security concerns. There are those who are afraid of the power of the gun this time around. But analysts have said this election is a referendum on the current seating government's performance, and that's talking about a Coalition for Democratic Change, which was elected in 2017. So this election is a referendum on them to evaluate the performance.
Absolutely. More than 2.4 million Liberians will be deciding who their next president is going to, be. And we've got, just like you said, 19 candidates jostling for the top job in Liberia. So, as well as members of the legislature would be, I think, about 87 legislature. The incumbent president, Judge Weah, of the CDC, is also seeking a 6-year term re-election bid. So he's up against, the former president, Joseph Boakai, of the Unity Party, and a businessman, Alexander Cummins, of the CPP. Judge Weah is 57-year-old. He said his performance will be enough to secure re-election. He has been in office since 2017. And then Joseph Boakai, who is 78-year-old, has widespread name recognition and is now aiming for the presidency under the Unity Party. He was also, previously Minister of Agriculture from 1983 to 1985, former Vice President from 2006 to 2018 to Johnson Sirleaf, that woman, a great woman, in Liberia. So this year, Boakai is in alliance with the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, founded by former warlord turned Senator Prince Johnson. His second attempt at the presidency is considered a rematch because, in 2017,
yes,
it didn't actually...
They're against each other.
Exactly, exactly. So, Weah and Boakai proceeded to a second round, which, Weah eventually won. So his key campaign promises, that's talking about Boakai, who is a very strong contender in this election, is that he's looking at agriculture, cross-border trading, among others, But his drawbacks is the fact that, he's 78-year-old and they said he's too old and he's having some underlying, ailments, or he's having health issues, which he has, vehemently, denied.
Well, August was the 20th anniversary of the end of the Second Civil War, and in which half of the country, if we remember, was displaced, and many as 250,000 people reportedly died. And it's in its final report in 2019, Liberia's Truth and Reconciliation Commission recommended that several individuals, including then-President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, be banned from holding public office and a war crimes court be established. But those recommendations were never implemented. But Judge Weah is saying that he will be looking into that because he has promised to support the creation of a war and economic crimes court. We'll see how that will pan out in the coming days. That is, if he is re-elected, because there are conversations saying that perhaps that a majority of the people will vote against him as it is because of some of the issues that Liberia has witnessed in recent times. But that is left to be seen. The power is with the people. That's right. So perhaps at the end of the day, we'll understand the direction that the people are going if it is to re-elect Judge Weah or someone else. You know,
some of the issues in these elections are drugs. You know, the fact that some youth, 2 out of 10 youths are said to be doing a lot of narcotics. They have a civil war, the civil war in Liberia. Corruption is also something that the current administration is being, accused of, and entrenched in, and economic problems. But Alexander Cummings, who is also a contender, first became known in Liberia political scene when he contested for the presidency in 2017 and, placed 5th. But this year is running on the platform of the CPP, that's Collaborating Political Party, a coalition between Cummings, Alternative National Congress, and Liberty Party. So he's known for his humanitarian service and has served as the head of multinational company until 2016 when he retired. So Ellen Johnson Sirleaf awarded him Liberia's highest honor, which is the Humane Order of African Redemption in 2017. So his key campaign promises is looking at diversifying the Liberia's economy and has promised a friendly business environment for women and youth-owned businesses in the first 100 days. So he advocates a buy Liberia policy, just like we say in Nigeria.
buy Nigeria, grow the Naira.
Exactly.
That was the mantra then.
Definitely. Yeah. So promoting, local content. So just like you said, it remains to be seen how all of this is going to be. But then it's very important to mention that former President Goodluck Jonathan is
leading a delegation of observers.
Yes, the West African leaders, elders rather, a forum observer mission. We also have the IPAC, Interparty Advisory Council. Yabagi Sone, who is the chairman, is also
leading a delegation there.
Exactly, observing this. And Yaga Africa to say they are sending a high-powered delegation. To this. So it's going to be very interesting. The fact that Liberia, is one of the West African states, and Nigeria, we have a lot of Nigerians there. The last time I was in the UK, some few guys that came to the UK from Liberia, the leader of one of the local, not local, the state broadcasting service director, a very young lady, said that Judge Weah is also looking at bringing up youth to be holding key positions. When this guy spoke Pidgin, it sounded like an Igbo guy. And when he spoke English, that, no, this is not a Nigerian. So he said a lot of Nigerians are there and, they are doing, so we are quite interested in what is happening in Liberia.
In Liberia, and we can't forget Nigeria's role played during the crisis at the time, how much we contributed. So it's more of we going to witness our brother having an election now and to see and ensure that there's some stability in the process of this election. But definitely TVC will be monitoring developments out of Liberia with regards to this election, and we will be bringing you blow-by-blow account of every incident or whatever it is as events happen and unfold in Liberia.